Now when you start to use tables and you insert them, by default they will fill the width of the Word document. So you can see here in our data tables file, we have two tables, one with 5 columns, one with 3, but they're both the same width as the page width. Now we're going to need to be able to adjust these columns, even potentially adjust the row heights so that we can make our tables more presentable. So to adjust column widths, if we take our second table here of country populations, we could narrow these columns up really quite easily and get to use less of the screen space and make it a little more presentable. So to adjust column widths, we have a couple of methods. We can either do it graphically, so I can click into this column. Now it doesn't matter which cell I'm in, as long as I don't highlight the cell, I just need to be in the cell, then I can adjust that whole column width by going up into the ruler here. And you can see there's like a little rectangle between that column and the next. I grab and I can drag and narrow the column width. So the same with the second column. I just click in, go to this little blob in the ruler, little rectangle, grab and hold on and drag. And the same with the last. I just click in, go to that little rectangular blob there and drag in. And that's allowing me to adjust the column widths for the column that I'm currently in. Now we can do the same thing by going to the Table Tools ribbons and Layout. And you can see here there's a width option. And in here I can use the little scroller to decrease or increase a column width, and it will affect the column again that I'm in. So I can go into that column and adjust that up or down. And the same with the country. Click in, up or down. If I highlight more than one column, so I could do it with all of these, I could highlight across, so drag across to highlight all the columns, I can adjust all those widths at the same time. Now with them highlighted, nothing appears to be happening when I click the up and down. That's because they have no start point. What I need to do is click into the width box. I'm going to put 1 as an arbitrary start point, so that's 1 inch, and enter, and they're all set as 1 inch. Now I can use the scrollers to go up and down to increase, decrease the column width, which means that all those columns will be the same width. So 1.2 inch, 1.3 inch, 1.4 inch. So let's come down and leave that as 1.2. So there are a number of ways of controlling column widths. Either the rulers using the little rectangles, just make sure you're in the column, the one that you want to affect, or the width scroller on the Table Tools Layout ribbon. That can affect multiple columns at the same time, whereas the little bar blocks here can only affect the column that you're currently in. Now, although we would quite commonly want to control the column widths, we can also control the row heights. Pretty similar process. If I want this row here, the heading row, to perhaps be a little bit taller, then I can control the height from the Layout ribbon here by just going up, 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 and that becomes a higher row. So it does affect the height of the whole row. Or, a bit like using the little blob in the horizontal ruler, in the vertical ruler, if you come across, you'll find you've got very similar markings there. And I can grab and adjust the row height. So I can do it graphically on any of these rows, that one there. I can make that row higher. Or I can do it using the little scrolling wheels here. That too will affect multiple rows. If I highlight all of these rows, so the data rows, for example, and try doing the up, they all go the same height together. That way you keep a bit of consistency in presentation. Let's come down a bit and do the same for our countries. Highlight all the rows and make them just that little bit higher, just to increase their breathing space and make them a little bit more presentable. So I'm able to amend column widths to whatever I want them to be, and row heights to be whatever I want them to be as well, just to help improve the presentation of my table, or the presentation of the data within my tables.